That is a bit the problem. So what we want to have there is that I'm going to call this check. So we are fetching this page, and to fetch this page we want to have oh yeah, I didn't see. Welcome on the live, everybody. I made the mistake. I've started the live without clicking the live button. I'm sorry about that. We are back on our Kickstarter app. We are working with Supabase and Vue.js to create this whole app. This is the 6th part. I'm really happy to be there again. And right now I'm going to try to fetch the page. So if I get down there, I can read rows. So here, as we see, we can find a page. So select a page, and we are going to use equal is to something. So there we go. Console log pages, which is there. And we're gonna select okay and equal, and what we want to have is URL. Okay, so URL here will be related to so I have to use router also. Use router. I had it. I just had it before. Use root or use router. Use root. There we go. So const root is equal to use root. Okay, cool. And now we want to have, so just do that first. We want to console log our root. All right, let's get back to our app. Okay, there we go. So here we're supposed to have our root, and if I click root path, yeah, all right, cool. Root path here is there. So we can have a param. So I'm not really sure about this, but root path, root.params, yes, of course, params.id. Okay, all right, cool. And yeah, that's what we want there. So there we go. All right. So now I'm going to fetch my page, and I'm going to, yes, put that. And there we go. We've got the data of the page with the name of the baby, etc., etc. So basically what we can do is just to say, and we can do that. We can do single, of course, if I just want to have the element as an object. And there we go. So at the end, page is equal to data. I'm just going to put data this way. And that's all right. So I'm going to fetch this. Okay. So the thing is, now we've got a problem. And this problem is that, okay, fetch page there. If there is no page, it's doing this. And there we go. So we've got a reactive object there. And I'm going to console log page. Okay. So let's get back in there. And let's put instead a ref. All right, and it is not reactive. So the thing is that we have, what we have to do is to put object.assign to what? Data. There we go. So it's not state, actually. It's page. Okay, cool. And it's not going to be reactive instead. Yes, cannot add, of course. So we're going to put it in here and define. You can remove this and put instead a state dot page is equal to data. And you will see in that case that it's not going to work necessarily. All right, cool. Page is not defined. Where is it? Mm. Mm, mm, mm. All right. Yes. Okay. Okay, it is working. So there is no raised in stats, and we've got errors in Cascade, of course, because I was building this application on a model that I'm changing right now, and it happened often, unfortunately. So yeah, check filter if value is raised, and there is no raised. So what we gotta do in here? Okay. So what I have to do is vif, okay, props.page contains what? The item. And actually, I think it's not exactly this. It's not the item. I think if there is props.page of item in the list of keys, there we go, is going to change that. And down there, it's going to be the same. Okay. Okay, so it's not exactly this. Let me get back on this. We are showing our stats. Wait, sorry. Very dumb. I should put guards. I should put guards. Huh? All right. Welcome to Alberto's page. It is working. All right. Here I go very fast because with these lives, I don't focus 100%. It's very difficult to focus 100% and talk to you at the same time. But here I should put some guards later because otherwise it's very complicated. Okay, so when I click read more, all right, page is not defined, somewhere console log of page. Okay, but it's okay, now we know. So if there is data, okay, always. All right, so now we fetch our page and it's amazing. What we are missing in our model, let's get back in our model, which is here. We are missing a description, which is a text. So I'm going to add description. And here I'm going to add text. All right. I'm going to save. Also, what we miss a raise. So if I go there in my page, I've got Alberto there. Okay, I got raised. No, raised, it's okay. So here I can put a random description. A random description for my viewers. And this text has to be long because we want to display a function that is edited there. Okay, I'm saving. Then I'm getting back. And I'm supposed to get, yeah. All right. When I click here, I can see check. And read more. We want to change read more. So I don't know where is read more again. Read, okay. It's not read more. It's get description. So we got this function, okay. And we got also here the model of the page. So we're going to check that just after. We've got our fetch page. Okay, the error, we will check that later. Use root, it's a bit messy. Fetch page, catch error, get description, all right, current user, and there we go. So we've got read more, and what we want to do, we want to change the text of read more, and we want instead to have some kind that says close. Yeah. Okay, so here I'm going to put close, which is of course close. He didn't understand that, and it's general.class. So okay, I don't know if it's gonna work. Actually, it's this that we want to have. So we want to have state.more close. Okay, it's instead, it's the opposite. So what we can do, do something a bit trickier. So we've got our general.readMore, but instead what I want to check is state.more. So here I want to have read more, otherwise I want to have close. All right, backticks with the backticks. Okay, cool. Close, read more, close, read more. So actually it's close here and it's read more here. And there we go, we've got what we want. So we are fetching the page. And when we arrive, there's no page. So down there, I was wrong. Down there, I wrote if there is a state page. Actually, if there is no state loading and state page, then what we want to have, okay, so what we can do, what I do, of course, is a div. So basically here, you know, we're gonna wrap all of this there because it's better. And inside of this, God, problem with the editor. I'm gonna close this. There we go. And here we can do this. All right, cool. So then I can grab this one. I've got this. All right, that's so cool. So now I've got my stuff, and what I want to have also instead, I want to have some kind of loading there. So if you remember, in the components we have a loading stuff, and we have a loading page item, but we have also a loading page. We can use loading page.view this way. And what did we have? We have this, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to type just up there, loading page. Okay, page URL.view. Oh yeah, of course. So I'm going to get back on there, and I'm going to import loading page from components loading page.view. That's cool. Thank you very much. So I get down in here, and there we go. And I'm going to add a class there. So I'm not supposed to, I'm not obliged to do this. And this is what I can do. Instead of doing very big conditions and stuff, you are separating the loading parts to the rest of your app. So I'm going to put, yes, loading page vf is equal to state.loading and div velse. We're gonna have this one, and of course this div is going to go there. I'm going to remove this, and you will see the editor. Yeah, okay, so I got my loading stuff. All right, cool. So now what I'm gonna put here is my loading on true, because I want to work on my element. I understand. Okay, so let me do this first. We're gonna just let that this way, and we're gonna work with it later. So I wanna have a loading page element that I can use. So I'm gonna go there, and here I'm going to have loading page. Cool. I'm going to recreate this element that we have up there, and instead of this we're gonna have a h6 with 6 and with full is not possible. All right, and instead of this it's going to be this, and it's going to be rounded full. It's going to be page avatar. We could make components of all those loading elements. All right, we can make it. So MB4 and MX auto. All right, and you see it looks a bit like this one. Give me a second, because I think I need to talk about this live on on Twitter, because I didn't make any post. And there we go, I got this. Okay, cool. I'm live on YouTube. Supabase plus Vue.js. Need to put an at. And there we go. It's always the problem when you don't have any community manager or something else. Just gotta put stuff like this. All right. Okay. We can update the music maybe. Again, uppermost. Music of last time was very, very, very cool. Okay, there we go. So we are back. So I got my page item. There we see that instead of having, and we want to have some kind of line, and we don't want to be this way. We want to be yeah. And then we want to have an MX auto. Yes, I think it's better. And an MB4 again, of course. And there is going to be this. Yes, but maybe more. So 92. Okay, that's cool. And of course, we want to have also a button down there. The button is a bit bigger than this. Okay, all right. So we've got a very nice loading element that we have there. And okay, that's cool. That's very cool. So the thing is, remember here, we've got this other page. So let's finish on this, because if I jump too much, if I jump too fast, it will be very difficult after. So there we want to actually, I'm going to get back in here. So vif state.loading, and here it's going to be velse. All right, cool. So later we will deal with that. We'll see. Okay. And now we want to work on the full model of this page, because remember, in the previous live, we created a full model of this. Hi, Kawa. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Okay, so I got this loading page element now. So when I update, look, check, and it fetches the page. Okay, this is wrong because it's not supposed to be the current user. So to do later, fetch the owner of the page, and we got it. We got the owner of the page, because if I go there and I look, there is a user ID owner there, and it's very important. The description, okay, it's very important. Okay. So now, what we want to do, so here you remember we fetch and we got this element there. Now what I want to do is create a new page. And to do that, we need the model, the full model of the page. And here, remember, we had this. So what we can do, if I go to new, the page form that I had. So if I go to page form there, up there, I have the full model. So here I can remove this because I don't need that anymore. I'm going to put my fetch page at the end. All right, cool. Let me save this. And so what I need is to go on this page. Okay, I need to fulfill the whole model of this page there. And here, you remember when we type, it's supposed to check if your model is available or not. So there are two things to do here. The first thing is to create a function to push this form to the page database. And also the other thing is to check first if this model is available. So I'm going to close all of this, and if I go to source, view, page, and ID there, all right, I got the whole model, but me, I need the new. So new, and here I got the form. I got this one, and I also got page URL with the check URL function. Okay. And I already wrote all of this before. So let's just open the inspector and let's type Sancho whatever. And when I get down and I click create my page, I got the model that I need there. Amount, birthday, description. So let's get back here in our database element in the columns and let's look at the model. So let's zoom a bit. And let's look at the model that we have. So right now we have name. So ID is made by the database. User ID is not here. So basically we are supposed to push user ID here in the page. So what I can do at first is, like always, user store, where are you? Just to get back there. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to go there, check, there we go. I got my user store and I got current user. And here as a user ID, I can put store.currentuser.id. Okay, I'm going to save. If I type blah blah blah, get back and get down. There we go. So now I got my user ID. So we are all right. Then the name, we've got it. Okay. Then hide name, we got it also. Okay, cool. Is already born, we got it, which is a boolean. Okay. URL is supposed to be a text. That's what we're gonna do after. We've got it. Raised, we don't get it. Okay, so actually raised will come later because we will have a database of transactions, and later in this database of transactions, all right, we will simply make some kind of computed function that will what we call a view actually in Postgres, that will take all the money that has been raised for this particular page by the page ID key of this transaction. Then we will get views. We don't need views. And we have an end at, which is at undefined right now. And we've got a description. So what we miss is hide participants. So let's create a new column, which will be hide participants, because we don't get it here, okay? So hide participants is a boolean, and then, okay, so here I'm going to go there, and we want to push a boolean, which is by default on false, and we don't allow nullable. I'm going to save this. Okay, cool. And then we got another one, which is hide participant amount. Okay, which is here, remember. So hide participant amount, I'm gonna go there on boolean. And as a default value, we're gonna put false. So I'm going to save now. Okay, cool. So I'm saving, and now there we go. I got my full model on Supabase. I'm really happy. It's efficient. It makes the work. So what I can do now is working on this page URL stuff. So what I want to check, basically, because I got my whole model, before I can submit my whole model there, I want to check if this URL will be available. And what is this URL? We just did it. It's basically the ID of the, well, actually it's not necessarily the ID. Let me remember. It's not the ID, huh? It's URL that we're gonna check. So what I want to do is typing, and when I type, I'm gonna check if there is a page with this URL. If so, if there is not, it will be green. If so, it will be red. And it's here that it works. So let's go here. And what did we write? Okay. So if it works, when we check the URL, we're good. Did we do, I don't remember. You watch, but I don't. Did we do, yes, input there, okay. No, we didn't do any loading. Ah, yes, we do. We got a loading there. So here, I already made a mistake, I guess. I think we should do that. Yes, I think it's better. I'm gonna put that inside this. I think it will be better. Okay, cool. Okay, super cool. So let's go. So now, like always, guys, it's always the same stuff, and this is why working with Supabase is amazing. So I'm gonna type Supabase. Supabase. Okay, cool. And I'm going to get back there on my API docs. Okay, and what I want to check is pages again. And I want to find, okay, I want to find an element with this URL stuff. So what I can do is simply copy and pasting this. And I'm sure there's another opportunity that we can use down there. Subscribe to all events. Maybe we'll do that better. So I'm going to filter this. So when I'm going to check the URL, all right, so I'm going to do this. Okay, cool. Select. And what I want to find is equal. So remember, what do we have now? What we have now is, we got to get the URL. I'm not sure we don't get it. Okay, we got to pass the URL to, no, actually, we don't need that. Why do I say that? Sorry, I'm a bit lost. We want to check get URL with what? With so it's state or not? Where is the value? Ah, yes, it's state.url. Okay, state.url. And if there is data, we don't want to emit it. So let's first console log this data there. And we never fire this. Yes, on input, check URL. All right. So we don't want to spam Supabase. All right, we don't want to spam Supabase. So instead, what we want to do, we want to create some kind of set interval. And that would be the thing. We want to clear the interval. So what we can do is JavaScript on type clear interval. And clear all interval from page when focused on input. No, that's not what we want. And actually, we want to use clear interval. So how does it work? I want to find an example for you. So instead of here having directly this, okay, every time I'm going to type, I'm going to clear this interval. So I'm going to remove this for now. And let's say that I have a set interval with a function that is going to do something. Okay. After this. And I want to have class let interval is equal clear interval. And what we want to have is a clear interval of interval. So do you think it's gonna work? Console log send. And I don't want to wait that long. I want to wait 1 second, and 1 second it will be very long. So I'm going to remove that. Cannot access interval before initialization. Sorry, let interval. Okay, cool. And then we've got our interval. And there we go. So you see, it doesn't work because every time I write, it send actually it triggers the function. So instead of that, well, actually, it's not an interval. I'm dumb. It's a timeout. We should wait and yes, we should wait. It's not an interval. Why did I say that? Okay. Clear set timeout before it triggers. Sorry, guys. I said that, but how to cancel set timeout before it has been triggers? Yes, it's exactly this. Use clear timeout. Exactly, that's what we want. Sorry about that. Clear timeout. So actually it's going to be a timeout. So timeout. All right. Clear timeout. There we go. Send after 1 second. And here it's set timeout. God. And here it's clear timeout. There we go. So I'm going to type. I'm going to initiate this variable. And then if everything goes good, I'm going to clear my timeout if there is already one. And actually, it's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be somewhere like this. Timeout. Undefined. And it's going to be set state dot timeout. Okay, cool. So I'm supposed to write. Okay. So as you see, until the moment I type, I always clear the timeout that is done. But when I type again, I'm waiting. So that is exactly what I want. And we're gonna create another function for that. So trigger check. And this trigger check will be what? Of course, it will be a function, sorry, that will have this stuff. And what is it going to do? It's going to be check URL, simply. So instead of on input calling check URL, I'm going to call trigger check. So here, we prevent flooding Supabase. Okay, we prevent too much request of send to Supabase. So I get back there, and here I'm going to type Sancho, and there we go. I got URL available. But if I type, okay, so here we see that we got already an existing element. So this is now we have to deal with that. Okay, so instead of this, so if data length superior to 0, we want to have a state error on true, else we want to have a state success on true. So I already got, yes, there we go. So I already got a page that is named cuckoo, so it's not working. And here we still got an error also. So every time I'm going to check the error, and here actually what we got to do is state success on false and state error on false also. Okay, we clear that. If state URL length is not superior to 0, we return. Okay, we don't do anything. So as you see, gosh, it didn't pass. If state URL okay, maybe it's there. So if I put Sancho, whatever, okay, all right. And also another thing that we need to do is to prevent people who are going to put spaces or underscores, all right? So we want to join, actually, we want to join our URL. And it's going to be here because this is where we emit our state URL. So I'm going to console log my state URL there. And actually, it's going to be down there. If there is a success, it's going to show that. So let's say that, for example, I type this. I got a success, but the problem is that here I got spaces. So do you think I can do this? I don't think so. And I got double errors, which is really funny. Okay. So what I want to do is find a way, JavaScript, remove spaces from string. And also what we want to do is to prevent. So there is replace. I already thought about that. Okay. There is replace. But it's not exactly what we want. It's not exactly what I want. So yes. So state.url.replace. There we go. And we're going to do that. Hello, bro. Okay. Let's say that we're going to do it. So const URL replaced. Let's say that later we would have a function that will take out all the underscore and everything out of the string that we don't want. Okay. For now, I'm just going to do this. All right, cool. So dot URL replaced. URL replaced. Need to emit that. That's it. All right, cool. So if I, okay, and there's another stuff. What I want to do is putting a limit, and let's say that the limit is state.size. So if state.url length, yes, state.url length is superior to state.size, return. And what we want to return, we want to return state.error on true. And our message is not exactly what we want to have there. URL unavailable. What we want to have, a URL unavailable. This URL want to have a message that says that your string is too long. Okay, and the message that says that the string is too long can be a very simple message. Okay, so URL string too long. This URL is too long. Let's say that we're going to do this. So as a kind of error, that's the one we can have. That's the only one. After that, we can have the error that this URL wouldn't be available. So, okay. So basically, there on error true, okay, it's working. And instead, what we want to have is an error message. So again, I really, guys, I really try to detail everything step by step, because on my channel, I'm here to teach people how to code. And I'm not perfect, but I try to create as much as possible ways for you to understand every step I pass. So here I got a state error on true, and here I'm going to put a state error message, which is a bit dumb, but whatever. And here it's going to be what? I can pass directly the string that I want, but state error, actually it's not state error message, sorry. I try to do it too easy, but error reference. It's error, no, error key. And here you will understand really fast. And then state.error key. So just give me a second. The key we want to have is URL string too long. All right, and that's what we want. So state.error key, and instead of having that, okay, URL unavailable. So here I'm gonna have this. So state.error key. If so, yes, it's going to be state.error key. Also, it's going to be URL unavailable. And instead of having this, I will have errors in front of it. So let's work if it's going to work. Okay, so let's try to put a very, very long text. Okay, it is working. It didn't pass. It's a fail. Okay, I'm supposed to put state URL. All right, maybe I didn't update. It's supposed to just stop. Let me check that. Okay, so there's a problem here. Let's say put console log hey. Console log hey. I don't know why I don't enter in this. Ah, sorry. It's my fault. It's my fault. I forgot this exclamation point. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's go. And if I pass the 32, and I think it's this way, this URL is too long. All right, cool. And actually, I want to prevent people to put an input too long there. So how can I do this? Let's look at JavaScript, prevent input limit, prevent, yeah, and we're supposed to have a max limit, max value. Oh, this is too complicated. And we've got a max there, but it's supposed to be a number. So prevent input string limit. I'm asking myself if they found a way to do it. Is it possible to run? Max length, absolutely. So let's go there and let's say max length will be on what? State.size. Okay, cool. And now let's try to put, there we go. If somebody tries, we can deal later. Okay, cool. That's cool. Okay, so let's see with this finish stuff. So yes, and then we emit our update replaced. So let's say that here I'm going to create the first page on Welcome Baby app with Guillaume names, and then I put create my page. Down there I got Guillaume as a URL. All right, that's very cool. So let's finish on this page URL, and now it's over. So to summarize, we've got a component, and this component got a title, and there is an input down there with a spinner and run check, run cancel. I got a state success, a state error, and this error is displaying different stuff. Okay, cool. And when I type, what's happening? When I type, we trigger the check, and we prevent flooding Supabase there with our clear timeout. Okay, with our check URL. we launch check URL, and we still keep that. So actually, basically, we can do that there. Okay, I can take that. And whatever we want to clear, yeah, can trigger the check. And have a function, because here it's two different contexts. Here we talk about, actually we talk about how to explain. The UI here, sorry, because I was looking at the sound. I think the sound is too loud right now. I'm going to lower it a bit. I'm not sure. So here we talk about the UI, and here we talk about the function itself. So check, and finally, okay. And here our function check if there is an element into Supabase on the pages that check here our URL stuff, and it checks the data length as first. So if there is an element in the array, it means that actually we could have do single here also. Could have do single. Okay. If there is a data element that exists, okay, we would put that. So let's try again. Always when you write some code, test again. You type cuckoo, and here there's already a page that name is cuckoo. So we don't emit our element down there, okay? And actually when we're gonna click, there will be no URL, and later we will check for that. Actually later in some minutes. All right. Okay, so if there is data, if there is an element, okay, why do we get this error message? Error message doesn't exist. Yes, error key. Oh god, I forgot that. Error key, and the key we want to pass is URL string too long. There we go. Okay, cool. So then what we do, we emit the URL, and then we get our URL back here in our model, exactly here. Okay. Okay, all right, we're good. We're good. So now I want to have my button create my new page disable from start. So disable will be on true. And if I go down, okay, I maybe didn't pass disable to the button, so I'm going to get back. Okay. So I'm going to get back on my button, and I don't get any disable, so I'm going to put the disable stuff in here. All right, disable. Okay, so disable at first maybe. And here it's not passed, so wait a second. Ah, it's disabled or it's disabled? Disabled. And what did I do there? Okay. Well, let me check quickly. Disabled. Okay. Am I on the right button right now? Disable state.disable. State.disable. Okay, so I'm gonna go there and be props.disable. I'm supposed to be on true. Oh god, sorry guys. It's my fault. It's still not working. Ah, yes. It is disabled. It is disabled, but the thing is props.disable. Alright, cool. And now let's say that I put on loading. There we go. So I go down, back on this. I get my button. Okay. Okay, so by default, my button is going to be disabled. So I can't create my new page. And what I don't like a bit is that my button primary loading is too gray and we don't see it enough. So I'm gonna go there and I think it's going to be, yes, that's better, that's better. One of my next live will be about creating your own component library. That is really what I want to do. Okay, cool. Okay. So let's create a computed function. Okay, is computed. Return state.disabled. Right, there we go. And what we want to check. Okay, cool. Check. Return false. There we go. What we want to check there is if our model is complete. So we've got a page here, and what is mandatory in our model is so name, description. Description is not necessary. Okay. What we want to have also is birth date, URL, and we'll see after that we would get a problem there. So we got here expected date of delivery, which is at undefined, and agree on conditions, and here it's state.agree. All right, so here is disabled and state.agree is supposed to be on true. So what we're gonna do here is to say that mandatory, and we want to check if there is an undefined value in our page there for this element. So actually it's not name, but whatever. So there we go. So for each, and map an array to another array. No. We want to find what? So x. You're gonna see what I want to do. So console. Well, actually, we're gonna return the value. And here, as disabled, we're gonna put that on the top. Okay, cool. What we want to find if so we got an element that is called page. All right, cool. If page.x, okay, if it's on undefined, okay, what we want to return is true. It means that for every element in this array and every key, well, actually it's supposed to be keys, on every key that I got there, I want to find if this key on my page is on undefined. So here we talk about name, we talk about URL, and we talk about, so and that, I don't know what is it, don't remember where is it, and that, let me check that, and that is at undefined, and birth date, okay, we are on disable, It's supposed to be good. And we return the value and state.agree. So down there, what I did was wrong. Just put it by default. Is disabled. All right, cool. So I'm going to update there. I'm on false. Ah, I know what I can do. I'm not obliged to do that, but what I can do is if return state agree. So state agree is on false. We return state agree on false. So what I'm going to do here is taking this, I'm disabled. I'm on false. Ah no, return on true. God. So actually, that's what I can do. Not obliged to do this. Okay. There we go. We are on true. So I click on agree. And I'm on false. And that is what I was thinking. So if return true. There we go. Otherwise, we return the value. So I click there. Name. I'm missing name. So I'm going to put blah, blah, blah. Now I'm missing birth date. And now I'm missing URL. And here, if I put cuckoo. There we go. We see that we can't click. We can't click anymore because we've got cuckoo that is taken. But if I took central, we can add central. So is disabled there. Okay. Is disabled there. Check if the keys are found or not, and then returns. So I'm going to get down on this, get back here. And there we go. Now I can deal with my page. Okay. There we go. So I got send page, and if send page is click there. All right. So like always, I'm going to go on Supabase, and then I'm going to go up, and I'm going to add, I want to add the page. So I read rows, insert rows, and look at this. So I'm going to copy paste this code directly into my function send page, which is here. I'm going to go down here. Await, of course, it's an async function. And what I'm going to insert, I'm going to insert what? I'm going to insert, of course, my page up there. And if data, console log my data. All right. And of course, I'm going to use the router also. Const router is equal to use router. I like this song. I like this song. Sorry for the guys who are watching this, not in live, but later. So router. We want to push to what? To profile. Otherwise, if an error appears, we can deal with that later. Going to put that, so I can't click. I'm going to put Guillaume. It's working. Let's say that I'm going to put on the next. We forgot my baby is already born. So what we're gonna do here is if page baby is already born, we gotta put keys is equal keys filter. Return to me X different from birth date. Let me check that first. Oh, what's happening? Ah, okay, cool. The baby is already born. Ah, there's a bug. Assignment to a constant variable. There we go. But if I remove this, there we go. That's good, that's good. Got a notification on Twitter, what is it? Oh, cool. It's the Supabase team. All right. We're gonna end on this, I think. Okay, let's add this page. Ah, if you don't want to tell the name also. Gosh, I don't remember that. Let's do that. All right, cool. So let's try if it pushes to our database. So I'm going to put Guillaume. And the date will be the 27, whatever. I agree to all the conditions. I'm going to click on create page. As you see, it doesn't work. Supabase is not defined. Oh, Supabase is not defined. The big fail that happened all the time for me. Oh, God. Okay, there we go. I gotta try again. I'm gonna go there and I'm going to agree all the conditions. I'm going to click and it doesn't work. So that's what is cool. Guillaume. All right, cool. And what is the error? Colon amount of relation pages doesn't exist. Ah, as you see. Let's go there and there is no amount. Oh gosh, let's add it. Amount. This is what I like with Supabase. It's so easy. I'm going to put numeric. There we go. And something that I don't like, I saw on the colors. Okay, so here I'm going to create a computed function. Can I find the right one? Well, actually, it's going to be computed from Vue. Thank you very much. Get background color. All right. So here it's going to be that. Otherwise, it's going to be primary loading. So thank you very much. If props is disabled, get background color. Ah, get background color. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So if props.loading and or props.disable, we want to return this. That's it. Okay. Okay, we are still on disable. Let me look at that quickly. Why do we are on disable? Ah, the birth date. You see, it's working so much. Ah! 400. Let's try again. Colon birth date of relation pages doesn't exist again, so we can get back there, put birth date, and as a type we can put a date, year, month, day. Let's save this because I think I had this end at. Well, you know what? I'm going to remove this. It's not birth date, it's end at. I think at first I put that, but yes, I think it's this. I was wrong with that model. I'm going to put Guillaume again and Guillaume there. He's going to check. Okay, there we go. Then I click that. And... but I told you. I think it wasn't updated. Colon user of relation pages does not exist. So I try to push a user. God! That's what I really like with Supabase. It's really reactive and give us information immediately. So I'm gonna go back there, put that. And guys, I think it worked. If we go on our database there, table, pages, there we go. We've got a new baby that is entered. That's cool. But the router didn't push me to profile at all. Did we add push for 400? So now if I type Guillaume, and no, it's working. So I'm going to type Guillaume 1. Let's have that. We will have my baby's already born. Oh, there is no return. So let me console log the data. And now Guillaume 1 is already done. Guillaume 11 is better. My baby is already born. I got to remove this. Null. Don't get any data. Okay. Because I think I didn't ask, but whatever. Whatever. When we push, now we want... when we have no error, we are supposed to push to profile, which is absolutely normal. So, 111. Going to save this there. My URL is available. I really like this component. I think I'm going to keep it for later. Click on this and that. And my baby doesn't work. And there we go, guys. So we got some errors again that we're gonna deal with, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go on profile down there, and I got a list with my pages items, and I'm going to add some class. Well, actually, I'm going to go on the page item. Not this one. Page items, pages item. There we I'm going to unzoom a bit. All right, so we miss some elements there, and actually that's the good point of getting back to our here down there on the page of Guillaume, etc, etc. And on our stats we have to get back quickly because it's not supposed to do this. So if value, we get a string, otherwise it's going to be a 0. Okay, and for the views it's the same. Okay, we don't get any views, so we've got by default that, but let's put this. Okay, and for the date, so let me return just the date. Return value. No, sorry, it's not it's a return string what we want. Okay, and the date didn't pass, so let me check again. Exactly there. Ah, the date didn't pass. Ah, because there was no date for those babies. How dumb I am. Remember, we didn't put any date. So, if no string, what we want to return is 0. Alright, that's cool. That's what we want. And if I click, okay, cool. And if I get back, and if I click on Guillaume 11, okay, so cool, etc, etc. So this was a quick demonstration, guys. I mean quick. I think it's 1 hour now that we are making this live on how we can create simply a new thing, because now when we're gonna be on the home we'll be able to create. So I get back on this because I forgot to remove this is disabled stuff. Is disabled. There we go, down there. We've got a form, and then we can push, and later in our app we goes there and it is working. So this quick demonstration I think was very efficient on how to use Supabase quickly. It's one of my first time. I think I'm going to go back on the camera. There we go. It was one of my first time doing that in live, and I will try to do my best in the future to make better demonstration on how to use Supabase with some apps. I think the live is a very difficult exercise, and I think it will be better for me to do it in videos. So if you like this kind of content, thank you very much, and just subscribe, put comments and stuff. Thank you very much. See you. Ciao.